Hi there, this is CryptoIce. Today I want to talk about the phenomenon that's going to be happening called banking the unbanked. If you're not familiar with that, 1.7 billion. Just Google this really quick and say how many unbanked people are there in the world. It'll come up 1.7 billion people do not have access to any banks currently. But it also mentions that 2/3 of those people have mobile phones that could help give them access to financial services. So enters cryptocurrency. This is one of the problems that it is solving, right? I think we would all agree, I hope we would agree, that these 1.7 billion people, their quality of lives would improve if they had access like the rest of us to banking services. So, I've been talking about central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, coming out in 2020. Well, we have our first one on October 20th. The Central Bank of the Bahamas is coming out with the first central bank digital currency called the sand dollar. Now, why is this a big deal? What does this have to do with the ecosystem that we're building? Well, usually when I tell people about cryptocurrency for the first time, my spiel to them is in less than a minute. I'll say, you know what? The way we send information one to another today, instantly like this, that's the way we're going to be able to send and receive money. And most people can understand the value proposition of that, of why does it take days to move money in this world of technology? We should be able to move it like an email or a text. And so they understand that. And they're like, well, how does this work? Well, XRP, one of the assets that I'm invested in, is called a bridge currency. So let's say you have this sand dollar central bank digital currency coin, okay? And then let's say you have like the euro dollar, which they're talking about coming out at some point. They're like walled gardens. And what that means is within the Bahamas, you can use this central bank digital currency, but you're not going to be able to make a cross-border payment to, like, say, Europe without some kind of digital asset in the middle getting it from A to B. There's got to be the technology, right? Well, that's what XRP is. It's a bridge currency to go from one place to the other. If you want to be a walled garden, if they just want to be in the Bahamas and do their thing, they probably don't need a bridge currency. But everywhere in the world is eventually going to be interconnected. And that's what makes XRP so exciting, is because they are the latest and greatest technology. They have the partnerships. They work with the central banks. I'm not a big fan of the central banks, but I'm not naive enough to think that they're going away. If this adoption is going to happen in the world, it's going to be because they are full participants and beneficiaries of this technology. There's no other way to put it. And that's, in Brad Garlinghouse's words, why the digital revolution is going to come from within, working with the banks. So that's why I invest in something that's actually working with the central banks, because I'm a realist. Okay? So we're seeing this start to roll out. And yes, they piloted this program last year in 2019 called the Project Sand Dollar. It was a success. Now realize that each of these sand dollars is pegged to a Bahama dollar, okay, which is also pegged to the US dollar, which is currently still the world reserve currency. I should say currently. That could change. But so I'm just thinking, man, they're rolling these digital currencies out and they're still pegged to these depreciating fiat currencies that are just losing value, a lot. So it's just going to be a long, drawn-out process to where eventually, we're going to be moving away from these fiat currencies and get to these fixed supply cryptocurrencies where you can retain your value, right? That's the whole point. Somebody made a really good point the other day that if we have the digital dollar put in every one of our U.S. bank accounts, and then the banks have negative interest rates, are people going to feel comfortable having their money in a digital dollar that's losing value in a bank? No, eventually, if that happens, they're going to want to put their money somewhere where it's going to either keep up with inflation or beat inflation and earn them money over time, right? So, getting to the point, I'm going to leave in the description below some very important research. If you're just trying to understand the banking of the unbanked, and you're trying to understand XRP, in the World Economic Forum in January of this year, they had a central bank policy toolmaker kit where it lists on page 17 as XRP as a settlement option. Go look at that. That is one of the most bullish things you'll ever see. And I'll just leave some stuff about Ripple working on the banking of the unbanked with the Gates Foundation. I know some people aren't a big fan of Bill Gates. I don't care if you are or you aren't. That's not really the point. We're here as our investment, in my opinion. So does that mean I have to agree with everything Bill Gates is doing politically? No. But I hear some people, they won't even touch Ripple because they're associated with Bill Gates somehow, or they're associated with central banks somehow. Well, I live in the real world where just because they're associated with someone doesn't mean that they take on everything that that entity or person represents or values, right? So that's my take on it. And let me see how I want to end this off. I want to say that this is how the central banks are going to introduce this to the world. They're going to come in like the heroes and say, we're going to save all these unbanked people and provide them financial services. And, it's all part of the process. So just be on the lookout. This is the first one, the sand dollar. We're going to have South Korea's talking about their digital dollar or central bank digital currency in 2021. So we're going to see a lot more of these come out. And this just gives me confidence in my investment. We're seeing everything move forward in the space, right? We're not seeing organizations and central banks taking steps back. We're seeing them move forward, inching forward. That just gives me the confidence that this is not going away. You can either accept that innovation is coming and learn about it, invest in that wave, or you can get slammed with a tsunami. And as George Gammon says, you can either be prepared or prepare to be a victim, basically. That's one of the reasons I'm doing this YouTube channel. I want as many people as possible to be prepared and educate themselves so that they can benefit their families. So hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe and share, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thank you. Bye.